those days. We also have amazing posters. So here's the first one. Here's the other one. We also have Yoga Meltdown. And then of course, we want you to distribute this to your friends, your family, so we have postcards for everyone. You can also find these on the front desk, as well as posted up on the billboards. Jai Jagannath! So moving on to today's speaker, His Holiness Bhaktimarga Swami. So His Holiness Bhaktimarga Swami is a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, having been initiated in 1973. Maharaj is also known as the walking monk and has achieved the remarkable feat of walking across Canada 4 times, the US once, Israel, Ireland, Guyana, Trinidad, Mauritius, and Fiji. Maharaj inspires others in the practice of Bhakti Yoga, teaches Kirtan standards, and is famous for his drama productions, which are presented all over the world. He also has written a book called The Saffron Path. Maharaj currently serves as GBC Emeritus, and we are honored to have Maharaj speak today about the Wheel of Celebration. Let's all give him a warm welcome.
Hare Krishna! Thank you very much for that nice introduction. One of our members here, Paul, who's from Latvia, he put together a beautiful documentary about what this Chariot Fest is all about. I'm just going to use that term, Chariot Fest, okay? Instead of Rathayatra. Rathayatra might be alien to some of you, especially if you're new. So, Chariot Fest. It involves a festival of chariots. And it's been running in Toronto for 50 years plus. And we're going to show that documentary. And then after that, I'll have a few things to say. All right, play it again, Sam. We're just asking for everyone's attention, quiet. Hope we can manage to get through this easily enough. We're very lucky to have an overcast day. If the sun was shining, it would come from the east and it would be making trouble for us. So thank Krishna for the dark day. Haribol. Since more than 2 millennia in India, 55 years beyond, and I didn't get a chance to reroll it. We need some volume, otherwise it's I asked them to make volume for us. Can everyone see this okay? Not too bad. You might put your glasses on. Might have to shift over something, we might have to shift over to look at get the right angle. I really appreciate everyone's silence. I just came back from a program at the Black Creek Pioneer Village. And it was a program, an interfaith program conducted by the Freemasons. And I was invited to speak on behalf of our tradition with roots from India and the Bhakti Yoga tradition. And the theme was brotherhood. So we all marched. It's called the people of Krishna, just like it's happening now. Thank you. I was just feeling it. We'll start at the beginning.
Why do people celebrate Rathayatra? Rathayatra is a festival it's an annual festival that it started off in a place called Jagannath Puri, and by the mercy and the inspiration of Srila Prabhupada, it spread all over the world.
That's San Francisco and also New York City, images from Toronto. You will recognize yourselves. RATHAYATRA literally means the festival of the chariots. And these chariots, which was a means of travel or conveyance in ancient times, was just a way to get around. And it's in reference to a big event, a family reunion that took place about 5 millennia ago in northern India, a place called Kurukshetra. People of Krishna's family came together and converged in that big spiritual event, like a Kumbh Mela, like a big event with a spiritual purpose. So that happened in the summer of love in '67, and a good friend of mine, Malati, she went into an Indian bazaar store, where they had a barrel full of little dolls, and one was the black one with the big white eyes, and that represents Krishna. So she brought it to her Srila Prabhupada and said, "What is this?" He said, "Oh, this is Jagannath." Jagannath means Lord of the Universe. This is an image of God. We call it Murti or deity. Srila Prabhupada said, "Where did you get this?" And she said, "I'm from the bazaar store. Are there any more like this?" "Yeah, there are others of different colors." So we have the white for Balaram and black for Jagannath, and their sister Subhadra, kind of like a golden yellow color. Prabhupada encouraged her, "Go get the other pieces." So 3 came, and Shyamasunder and Malati's husband started to carve away at them. Devotees wanted to know what else about these deities, the little dolls, which now got carved here like this level. He said, "Okay, we'll have a chariot fest just like we do in East Bengal where he comes from. We'll do it like that." And people just chanted around that. That was our first RATHAYATRA in North America, at least. So that's taken off now, and many of our temples will have these images of Krishna stacked away. Bring them out, repaint them, dust them off, do whatever we have to. They're a big part of our event. We can't let them go. My first was in '73, but the first one that was actually organized here on some scale was in '72 and was here before.
In 1972, it was just an old Victorian house, and there were maybe 15 to 18 of us living there. Enthusiastic young people just really wanting to do all the right things for Srila Prabhupada and to celebrate all the things that we should be celebrating. So we heard about these Rathayatras that were happening in the US. But of course we don't have the people or the funds or anything to do something giant like in San Francisco. What we decided was to go out to the beaches. We actually rigged up a children's red wagon, one of those little wagons that you pull your kids in. So we took Lord Jagannath, we made a styrofoam base so that he wouldn't move, and we put him there. We dressed him really pretty, lots of flowers and new clothes that we made ourselves. We didn't order anything from India in those days. We made some kind of a hood on it to shade Jagannath from the sun with, all kinds of decorations. We had a cargo van, I guess they're called, so we all just sat in the back with the wagon and we went down to the beaches. So we took Jagannath out, we put him in the car, and we just started walking down the street. the men were doing a little kirtan, walking along beside the wagon that was being pulled down the middle of the road. And us girls, we would go up to all the houses on the street and just knock on the door, saying, we're having religious festival, this is God, and we wondered if you would like to donate a piece of fruit or a flower from your garden to God today. We had a pile of apples, oranges, bananas in front of the wagon, and lots of flowers piling up because it was summer, so there were gardens full of flowers. And we went down the street, having our little kirtan, collecting, little offerings from everyone. And from there, the van came down. We all packed into the van and came home and put Jagannath back in his normal place on the altar and had a feast for ourselves. And that was the first Rathayatra, just a little sweet affair, very intimate. Now I go to Rathayatras and it's like, wow.
It's a major annual celebration each year, but in the last couple of years we haven't had the opportunity to go out on Yonge Street, have the parade and celebration at Central Island. So there's that aspect of separation for the last couple of years. The last 2 years we had a virtual festival, we did more online. We just celebrated by driving down the Yonge Street in a convertible vehicle, and then we had like a small setup in other temple parking lots so that people could come and take darshan of Jagannath and the deities. But yeah, it's very different from being at the Central Island and having like a typical full-scale festival. So the highlight and the special part for this year would be just going back to the Central Island and having our usual festival like how we've had in the past. So that's something to look forward to for me.
All of a sudden, we hear that this year festival is happening because we were convinced that it's not happening. So we hear the news and we're like, it's 2 months to prepare, if only 2 months, maybe even less.
On a typical year, we will start the planning around end of Jan or early Feb, sometime even before that. But this time around, we pretty much started the planning process end of April.
Our guests get booked pretty early before they're taken away. So that, the booking of the tickets, their accommodation, closer to them, their airport pickups, rides, all of that.
Many people are not available anymore, so we grab who we can. We call everybody, we're like, come, we need you right now. We're booking you first.
I would say the biggest challenge this year is being able to keep up with the pace of, we should have certain things accomplished by a certain period of time, but that hasn't really worked in our favor. So from the very beginning we started to plan, we've always been trying to catch up, and now we are literally less than a month away. So I feel we're in a good position, but still there's a lot of work remaining that needs to be done prior to, the actual weekend.
So when Krishna is literally overwhelmed with love for his devotees, then just thinking about them invokes symptoms of ecstasy in his transcendental form. His eyes get really big, and he has a super huge smile, and No material experience can do this. Only transcendental spiritual ecstatic experiences can do this to us. And so then he manifests a form, somewhat transformed form of Lord Jagannath. Jagannath is Krishna in ecstasy.
There's yoga of the body, where one does physical stretching. And there's yoga with one's mind, where one contemplates philosophy. And there's yoga of the heart, and that is bhakti. By whatever one is trying to do, one is seeking happiness. And what is more pleasurable than exchanging love? And it's very simple. Bhakti means that whatever the position, we in some way try to connect with the Supreme. The main way that we do that is chanting. So Hare Krishna, this mantra is the names of God. You can do it anytime, any place. You can sing it, you can say it, you can whisper it, you can think it. Connect with the source of happiness, just like you plug a fan into an outlet. You're connected with the whole station in the city. It's connected at potency. So in that way, when you connect with God, when you plug in by doing some service, you feel yourself very happy.
Filosofiko. I'll give you a Sanskrit term. Ananda Maya Vyasa. Ananda means pleasure. I'm looking for pleasure. Where do you find that? Not in material things. You find it in spiritual things. You have to go beyond what is established here in this world.
The morning of is where you're having all the tingles and you're like, did I forget anything? What's happening? You know, how many people will come? Is everybody gonna be on time? You know, all of those things that run through your head. It's exciting and it's scary and it's very, it gives you strong feelings.
So the parade is all about bringing Lord Jagannath out, bringing him down, celebrating his appearance. And so it's quite an incredible long tradition.
We typically have 3 runs. Our parade goes down Yonge Street, which is the biggest street in the world.
It's very unique because generally the deities in the temples don't go out of the temple. People have to go to the temple to see the deity. But Jagannath is the one form of the Lord that goes out.
The reenactment is a little different. You might have horses in a parade, but here the chariots are hand-pulled with ropes. It's people, humans, devotees of God, who actually pull the thrust forward the Rathayatra of the carts, move chariots, like people power or bhakti power instead of horsepower. Bhakti means devotion, so through the devotion of people, they bring the images of the royal family down the road so that everybody can see.
Going on this journey, going on this pilgrimage to visit his devotees. So the symbolic aspect is we are trying to welcome Jagannath into our hearts. When we are pulling the Lord, you're welcoming Jagannath back into your heart.
It's basically saying all equal. It's acknowledging that fact. There's so much talk about equality. There are so many social things going on, political fights and things. And a festival like this reminds us that at the end of the day, we are all living entities. We just want love.
We were just participating in a different approach to partying, you know? People like to get together and just have fun. That's what we do. We highly toxins. We don't take it. There's no substance abuse, and we would shut away from regular black coffee. Here, chanting mantras and dancing, eating great food, remembering Jagan. These are all expressions of joy.
Not just have the Rathayatra, so procession, the parade part, but they like to bring Jagannath to a beautiful place, like Yeoman Center Island, Toronto, and to set up the festival. Seminars, questions and answer sessions, we have book tables, we have stage shows and kirtans. And these are all different ways of prasadam for hundreds, thousands and thousands of people. It's a festival of mercy. It's a festival of compassion. It's a festival of love.
It's very colorful, it's very loud, and it's very engaging. Most likely we'll start dancing or moving a little bit, and start singing along, start smiling.
Jagannath's food is also so compassionate. Everyone who comes to the festival feels happiness. They feel happiness, they're smiling, they go away, with a full belly and a full heart and a big smile.
We only think ourselves to be disconnected in this illusion of material life. That this body is me, very connected to this body, belongs to me. But in fact, I am the soul. In the same way that a screw is of no value if it is disconnected from the machine that it was previously in, the soul is of no value if it is not in connection with its creator or the supreme soul.
It's a great family fun thing. I was really full today too, after 2.5 years not being with people. That was like a great reunion for us. And I was really amazing turnouts. So I think it's just about to go like Jagannath himself. He's Lord of the universe. When you talk about the universe, we're talking about something very vast and dynamic. Has lots of dimension to it. Just have to sort of keep caught up with it. Make sure we produce enough rice and curries that people will and have hunger towards. And so we'll be there for them. How would you like that? Okay. We especially like to thank our filmmaker, Paul, who's going to be here in a few days to spend some time with us. Thank you for listening, and nice job done on the film, and with this standard of bhakti and excellence, we like to execute this year's RATHAYATRA, and with that kind of strong bhakti approach. And so, being that this is the launching day for the Rathayatra this year 2024, we just wanted you to get into the spirit of it. So we like you to think about how you can participate in many different ways. We need your hands, your legs, we need your mouth, we need your intelligence, your brains. Lakshmi also helps. And come, work hard, get hungry, play, have a good time, get tired, and enjoy the party. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada, for bringing this festival to the West. When he was 5 years old, he got the idea in his neighborhood in Kolkata to organize a festival like this. So his father had arranged a small cart, and that was how it all started. He organized his friends in the neighborhood to participate, pull the chariot. He was involved in people making food, potluck, you could say, I guess. And the chanting of it is an integral part of the whole event. So from then to 1967, the Summer of Love in San Francisco, this whole, on the Western soil, Jagannath came. One thing that Prabhupada said, everybody's heard of Jesus Christ, right? So, Jesus traveled from the Middle East and went all the way east to Orissa, to the city of Puri. And there he got to understand and know about Jagannath. So Prabhupada made a connection, since Jagannath was visited by a Western god, let's say. Now Jagannath decided to come to the West. And it's been a glorious event here in Toronto. Every year it gets bigger and bigger, and in terms of attendance and participation. And I've seen it myself. The numbers keep going up. How do you know if we're going up in the numbers? Well, we count the plates that are served out. We don't have someone going 1, 2, 3, 4 for everyone who gets out of the ferry. We count the number of plates and how many people have been eating. That's one way. And also, one way I sort of measure or gauge if we're getting bigger or not. On the island, where the procession ends, Center Island, there's grass. And we have trees. And sometimes when you don't see the grass, it's because the people are walking on the grass. It just gets so crowded. It's so wonderful. Good. So we want you to make the most of it. And I just want to show you something. I stay upstairs. I live upstairs in the room. And it's on the northeast corner. And I have with me on my shelf an image of Jagannath. So to those who come from this culture, Jagannath means a lot. And yes, it is wooden. It's a wooden image. And recently I came from a program where there's condemnation of worshiping material objects and idols. And sometimes we hear also about worshiping strange gods. Have you ever heard those phrases? Okay. So what I would argue on these points is that, first of all, the image of Jagannath and his brother, Balaram, sister Subhadra, they're not material objects. They are Krishna eyes, they are spiritual eyes, they're not ordinary. Strange gods? Well, unstrange them. Get used to them. Get acquainted with them. Understand what Jagannath is and what he stands for. Jagannath means Lord of the universe. And when the British came to India, they went to that big festival. You saw some of the images. 3 massive chariots. On each chariot, there's the image of Jagannath, that is Krishna, Balaram, his brother, Subhadra, their sister. And they were amazed by the force. The force of humans, pulling along the chariots down the Grand Road in Jagannath Puri, which is a 2-mile or 3-kilometer stretch, back and then forth. Now, the term juggernaut, and I understand there's a comic character in the comic books. Juggernaut, have you ever heard of that? It looks like a robot. Where did that all come from? It came from India, like so many things. And so it's translated juggernaut as the incredible force. So if you have a chance to go to Puri in India and experience it, I would say don't go there because our Rathayatra happens around the same time. So you can't go there, okay? That's my demand. Okay. Down Yonge Street, so many people get mesmerized by how many of us are there on the street. Happy people. And no one's been drinking. It's not a leftover, like a party from the night before. It's all, everyone comes with a beautiful spirit, and it's a spiritual experience. Yeah. So I have not much to say philosophically, because I just wanted to inject in you the Jagannath spirit and the spirit of service. Jagannath, God, comes down in the street, he comes out of the temple, and he cleans, purifies the atmosphere. Do you believe, I'll ask you a question, do you believe that purification is necessary? On Yonge Street, Bloor Street, even here on Roxbury, it's quite a nice street, right? You can't get any parking, but apart from that, it's a nice street, it's a nice neighborhood. But we are living in the material world. There's a lot of anomalies, there's a lot of darkness, a lot of lust, anger, greed, madness, envy, and illusion. And to dissolve that to some degree, we have this spiritual festival. So I was raised Catholic, and in the month of May, which is the month of Mary, we had a little procession, an image of Mary. She was put on a kind of a cart, and we went up the street, up the ridge to the main street of Blenheim, Ontario. That is population 3,000, not a big place. It was on Sunday morning, and we were singing hymns to Mary. So when I got to know about the Rathayatra festival, I said, oh yeah, Mary, Jagannath, Krishna, it's all kind of the same, isn't it? Really. Just that we have many more people. So broadcast the message. The joy of this festival is for everybody. It's family fun, it's clean, it's wholesome, it's spiritual. So that's what we're doing today. It's the launch of the Rathayatra Festival. And I wanted to tell you, because we're into parties, we're into growing and expanding. Our ISKCON movement, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, is going places. Even during the pandemic, we opened 5 new centers or communities in the GTA area. So, the latest on the list is ISKCON. Anybody heard of ISKCON? Yes? If you haven't, I wonder if you're alive. Cottage country up north. And so, coming up is an event which is to honor Jagannath, Krishna, basically. We're opening up a temple there, a restaurant, and living quarters for those persons who qualify. And to tell us a little bit more about this event, for the 19th of May, that's a Victoria Day weekend. We're just asking Nimai Nitai to tell us a little bit about it, okay? So Jai Jagannath and Jai ISKCON, let's go, God. Jai ISKCON. You get a chance to participate, and the details will be given now.
Hare Krishna.